What's going on, everybody? It's Childish. We're back at it again, coming at you with another health and wellness video. In today's video, we're going to be giving you guys a physique update as well as answer some of the questions that you have recently dropped on my YouTube community page. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. My name is Chris, but I go by the name of Childish, and I've been a content creator for the Summoner Sword community for about 7 years. And as of recent, I basically had some struggles that I had to deal with right around 2017, 2018 that basically led to a 60-pound gain over the time span of about 18 months. So in 2019, I buckled down and I was able to basically take the next year to go ahead and lose that weight here. And I had a lot of feedback, a lot of positive feedback from the Summoner Sword community. Everyone was kind of curious as to what did I do. So I said to myself, in 2021, I'm looking to make some changes for my life personally. And so I decided to go ahead and create this channel or create this new vlog to share with you guys some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way to hopefully help you guys out on your personal journey. Now, if this is something you guys would like to see in the future, all you got to do is show your support by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and then if you want to, you can hit that notification bell so that you know when the next health and video drops. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. I will go ahead and showcase the clip right now of the physique update. Now, just to put it out there, this physique update, this recording was done on February 1st, as basically that was like the official start of this process here. And if I didn't say it already in previous videos, or maybe you guys are relatively new to the channel, basically in 2021 we started our so-called journey, right? But I spent the first 4 weeks transitioning, making a couple of adjustments when it comes to my sleep, when it comes to my eating schedule, when it comes to the amount of caffeine I intake and all that good jazz. I try to, buckle down, try to reduce, the overall things that I was looking to change, so that when I started on February 1st, it wasn't like anything drastic. So as far as this recording goes, at the time of this recording, the weight was 220.6 pounds. And as far as the body fat goes, I apologize in advance. I was supposed to connect with somebody who unfortunately had a couple things come up in the last minute here, so I wasn't able to get the body fat check all done. But if I had to make a guesstimate, considering where I've been in the past and just kind of my overall physique, I would have to put a guesstimate of around 15 to 70% body fat here. Knowing me, it's probably going to be higher than that, but that's where I would put myself at, considering where I have been in the past and where I'm currently at now. As far as that first initial start, everything's been good. That first week that I took when I started this in February 1st, I basically took about a week off. I literally wanted to do everything that I can do just to basically be stress-free and just kind of get the ball rolling, making sure that I'm getting my meals in, getting my water in, just doing everything that I got to do to get started off on the right track. I know that's not something that everybody can do, but for me personally, I had a lot of things go on. It was a really rough week when it comes to work and personal life. So I'm like, you know what? Like a week out, I was like, I'm just going to take this week off because I already have everything going on with regards to this health and wellness. I want to make sure I do everything right. And I just, like I said, I wanted to get started off on the right foot. So as far as the first week goes, when it comes to food and everything went pretty good. Really no issues here. I definitely felt the lack of caffeine, the lack of energy, was a little lethargic, throughout the, middle of the afternoons here for the first few days here. But over that, outside of that, it wasn't really too much of an issue. Now, as far as issue goes, I did have a couple of issues. I mean, just, normal issues that I'm looking to address. The biggest thing I would have to say is joint mobility right now. As far as my mobility when it comes to just rotating my torso left and right, it's definitely a little bit, it's a little lackluster right now. I have some tight muscles just across the board here, and the tightness comes from the origin and the source, insertions and origins of the muscles. So basically the start of the muscle and the end of the muscle where they connect, basically a lot of elbow joint pain, a lot of knee joint pain. And in addition to that, I actually have a little bit of inflammation in my left knee, which actually gets a little bit more aggressive, or it gets a little heavy after I do leg workouts here. So it's something I'm going to have to pay attention to, something I'm going to have to keep in mind as I go through this process here. But yeah, I mean, overall, really can't complain. It's nice to kind of get, back on the bandwagon. Again, for me personally, this is not like I'm going too off the mark here as far as what I normally do, but, just getting back to kind of the calories and making sure I'm doing this, I just, all these little things that I do, it's kind of cool. I like having a sense of purpose when it comes to my nutrition, my training, etc. Now, I ain't gonna lie, posting that video footage for you guys, I just, it's so hard to get out there, right? Because again, even though I've been doing this for a long time, I've been a competitive bodybuilder off and on since 2004. You would think by now that I'm just kind of used to it, but this is the thing. This particular, aspect of my life, this is super personal, and this is something that no video gamer or nobody from the video gaming community has really ever seen. So, but the reality of it is, when it comes to these journeys that we take here, we need to have a starting point. We need to have somewhere that we can log and call this day one, so that when we look at the changes, 30, 60, 90 days from now, you guys can get an idea of, basically the results of what I've been doing, over the past, few months here. So yeah, I wanted to go and show that, and I hope I didn't offend anybody, because again, this is a video gaming channel. This is generally considered a family-friendly YouTube channel, but again, this is a part of my life that I wanted to go and share with you. I just want to keep it real with you. So hopefully this will, kind of help you out as well. So, but anyways, let's go ahead and get into the questions here. Again, if you guys did not know, 3 days ago, we basically gave an opportunity for the community to, send some questions my way about anything and everything when it comes to health and wellness here. And the first question is going to be coming from Sean B. Big shout out to Sean B one time, who asked, what are the different ways to do cardio besides running or swimming? And I'm so glad that that's the question being asked here, because there's a couple of things in the health and fitness world that people coined that it's like the tried and true definition. There's no way to look around it, right? Running is cardio, swimming is cardio, training is not, so on and so forth. But the reality of it is that cardio by definition is just basically any kind of activity that increases your heart rate. So if you're looking at cardio when it comes to running, yes, that's going to increase your heart rate. So that's a form of it. If you want to look at jogging, jogging also increases your heart rate. So you can do that. But if, let's say you're super overweight and you're like, I want to do cardio, but I can't do cardio because I can't run. If you're walking on an incline and your heart rate is high up there, if you're increasing your heart rate, that is by definition cardio. You're getting cardiovascular activity out of that. And then also when it comes to, let's say, weight training, right? Weight training, you generally, do the weight, you work out, you do the weight, and then you rest for what, a minute or two. But in reality, if you're looking to do some kind of circuit training where you're doing 8 exercises back to back with maybe 15 to 20 seconds of rest time in between, doing, hitting the different muscle groups of your body, you're keeping your heart rate levels up because you're not giving yourself a lot of time to rest. So that by definition is a form of cardio that you can get in today. You could literally combine weight training and make it, cardio-esque, right? I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm going to throw it out there. So as far as cardio goes, there's so many things you guys can do, and I encourage you guys to do what interests you. If you're a big fan of biking back in the day, do some biking. If you're one of those people that love to hit stuff, do a little boxing, find that gym bag at your gym, get some gloves out, hit it out there, get yourself a little cardio workout there. Again, anything that increases your heart rate, you can call that essentially cardio here. And, at the end of the day, you should focus on doing something that you have interest to, something that you could adhere to throughout this process. Okay. Now, the next question we got for you is going to be from Drag Ice. Drag Ice says, hey, Childish, I go through the phases of wanting to go to the gym every day and not wanting to go to all. Any advice on how to keep that consistent? So I'm going to take it for what you're saying. I truly believe that the way you're saying it makes it sound like you actually go to the gym every single day. And I'll tell you right now, unless you're some genetic freak, okay, you have to give yourself time to recover. For the majority of my fitness journey, I mean, even when I first started back when I was like 18, or not even 18, what did I start? I think I was started 14, 15 when I started training. My first coach when it comes to football or soccer, when we got into weight training, we always had this, training plan of, hitting a couple of muscle groups, for the first 2 days, taking a day off, and then hitting a couple more muscle groups, taking a day off, like a 2 on, 1 off, 2 on, 2 off, 3 on, 1 off. Basically what I'm trying to get at is we're always taking a day off after a couple of sessions, right? And then the reality of it is that regardless of how good we are feeling, we need to give our body a rest. We need to give that central nervous system a break, because we can't just train hard over and over and over again. It's going to catch up to you, regardless if your nutrition is sound or not. Recovery is just simply a thing that you have to incorporate in your plan, regardless of how much you're motivated to make some changes. So I'm going to leave it at that. And again, if you have anything specific to add to your comment, you can always leave a comment in the comment section down below. And once again, if not, hit me up on Discord, as I know that's a kind of a general question, but that's, I've been through your situation where I'm just feeling like super good and I want to train all the time, but regardless of how many days I train in a row, it always catches up to me. I always end up taking a couple of days off and, trying to recover here. So the next question that we got for you is going to be from Faza. Now, I don't know what his first part means here. Your SBDPR, I'm not really sure what that is. You can leave a comment down below if somebody knows what that is. But he basically says, are you going to compete in the future? I definitely would like to get back into competing. Right now, technically, I can compete in the Submasters because I'm under 40 years old. But who knows? Yeah, probably compete in men's bodybuilding Submasters. We'll see what I do. See how everything kind of works throughout this process. Like ultimately, I want to get back into competing, but it's more of a let's see where this journey takes us. Let's see what kind of changes we make. Because regardless of competing and how much I love it, more important than like getting back into competing is just making sure that I feel good. Like I'm feeling good internally. My joints are feeling good. I got more flexibility. Like I just want to feel youthful, and just take care of myself any way I can. So that's going to be the big focus. But to keep it real, I would love to compete again. I enjoy the aspect of competing. I enjoy the art of posing when it comes to bodybuilding. I enjoyed everything about all the dedication and discipline that you put into the bodybuilding process. So I'm hoping to get into it. The next question we got is going to be from Robert Cotton. He says, now I've been getting into workout. I was in the Air Force doing PT tests regularly, so I know the basics, which is really good. And he says, but how do you get that cut size? So I'm referring to the fact that he feels like I'm pretty lean for the weight that I am. So because I have a hard time gaining now, I'll be completely upfront with you. If I had to coin myself as a body type, I am an endomorph, right? I've always been big by nature. I've been super big throughout my life, but I've always had a heavy amount of body fat, underneath that muscle here. So, when I decided to make a couple of changes for the better, to go ahead and lose the weight, lose some of the body fat, I was able to maintain a little bit of muscle mass, which is why I feel like I have that kind of look going on. But if you having a hard time gaining while, not holding on to your six-pack abs or whatnot, I mean, ultimately it's going to come down to, not just what you're doing, but how consistent you are with it. The reality of it is, and I can speak firsthand, is that I never made the progress that I've made in the past until I was absolutely 100% devoted to what I'm doing and consistent about it. While there are a couple of things that we can do, alternative options that we can do when it comes to eating and training and whatnot here, ultimately it's going to come down to the consistency, the amount of effort that you put in, day out, in order to see those changes. And I can tell you, basically, from my personal experience, competing from 2004 to 2010, basically I was just always a second place to third place or second place to fourth place competitor. It wasn't until 2010 going into 2011 where I said to myself, okay, now we're looking to turn it up. Right now we're looking to make some changes, and we're not going to let our outside influences get the best of me here. I'm just going to do what I got to do, and I'm going to listen to my coach, and that's what we did. And I was able to get my pro card in 2011 here, basically shutting some people up that said I could never do it. So I just basically get it. I take it out as far. I say consistency is going to be the number one thing, and hopefully, you have an opportunity to get back into the gym, and because I don't know where you guys are at, if you guys are locked down or whatnot, but I know a lot of people. It's been hard for them to be consistent because of the lack of being able to get into the gym or being able to follow a plan because of their limitations right now. So hopefully that kind of helps out a little bit. If it doesn't, like I said before, please feel free to reach out to me personally, and we'll try to get that worked out here. So the next question is going to be from Mike Bison Ryder. It says, how often do I train a week, and what muscle groups do you train on a single day? So I am currently doing, I would say, like a 5-day split where I train. I like to train every muscle group. I like to train 1 to 2 muscle groups per day. And then I like to take off, basically 1 day off every 2 to 3 days here. So right now what I've been doing is I've been doing like a 3-day split where I'm breaking down my muscle groups, where I'm training, I'm doing like a push-pull legs, doing chest, shoulders, and triceps on a Monday, back and biceps on a Tuesday. And then I'm doing, basically my legs on a Wednesday. And then I'll take a day off, and for the next 2 days, I will do basically like a little bit of a more like a condensed version of the 3-day plan, basically doing like upper body 1 day, lower body the next. And the amount of volume that I do is different. The amount of intensity that I use is going to be different because I'm training some of those muscle groups twice a week here. But ultimately, I'm still, doing what I got to do to, get in there, get out, and making sure that I'm taking the time to rest and recuperate so that, my body doesn't feel it. As you guys know, I'm getting a little bit older, so I need to make sure that not only my training's on point, but my resting and my recovery is on point as well. So yeah, pretty much a 5-day split, 3 on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off. And I generally hit every single body part twice per week. Next question is going to be Booma. Booma says, what is the best way to get started working out? The gym feels so daunting, especially for someone who has never used one before. Any good material or motivation that got you started? So it's funny that you say that, because if you didn't see I don't know if I said in my first video, the first video that I did, or the motivation that got me started wasn't because of the gym per se and like trying to jump into it. The motivation was the outside influences that were around me that basically say, wow, you better take care of yourself because you're not looking too good. So my initial material that I used was a book way back in the day. I mean, this is 25 years ago. It's a book by Bill Phillips called Body for Life. I'm sure you can still get it, but ultimately the book in and of itself was just simply a nice little laid out plan that said, hey, eat small, frequent meals throughout the day, make them, have some, good portion meals and, and eat clean for 6 days on. And then you can basically have a, like a cheat day on the 7th day here. And the crazy thing about it was, while there was that cheat day and there was that plan to kind of plan to let yourself deter and kind of have some of the foods that you have grown to love, the level of consistency that you took along those 6 days, basically didn't, it didn't hinder the progress. The cheat day basically didn't hinder the progress that I made in the 6 days here, because I was super motivated to do it. And of course, as I saw more progress throughout the plan that I did, I was, not really motivated to eat as much junk food as I did on that cheat day here. But as far as the actual gym and jumping in there's really no other way to say it than to basically get your foot in there and just get started. And the cool thing about this is that we live in a world where, especially now with the pandemic going on, everybody and anybody is putting out great content out there to show you how to, take advantage of what you have available to you. So if you do have a gym available and you have a couple of machines you want to go ahead and check out, if there's not a trainer there, or if there's not an instruction on it, you can basically take a look at, YouTube, look at the internet, and they can provide you a lot of great stuff. Now, one of my favorite websites, and I'll leave a link in the description down below, is called exrx.net. And this particular website has a muscle directory, basically showing all the muscle groups in the body. And, by clicking on specific muscle groups, you can basically learn how to do certain exercises. And the cool thing about it is that it doesn't only show you the exercises you could do with, barbells or dumbbells or machines, but it also gives you alternate options if you don't have access to a gym. So if you guys are sitting at home, you're like, I want to create a, workout for me, and I'm not really sure what I want to do for it to work the specific muscle group, take a look at this website, take a look at some alternatives. It's a really good resource that you guys can utilize. And again, if you want to keep you can go in there, kind of, find the specific things that you want, or you could just simply essentially Google, some nice, what's it called? Like home workouts, body weight workouts. There's so much great content out there that people can, that people have showcased, especially in this last 12 months here, that I know that will help you out. One of the things that I would like to do, and let me know by liking the video, okay? Let me know if you guys would like to see like a home workout. Maybe you guys want me to do like a beginner workout where we do something without any use of weights, just trying to use our body weight and see what we could do. And try to keep it super basic so that anybody can watch it and, essentially, do it and, get themselves a workout. Let me know if you guys like that. I'd be definitely down to do something like that. Okay. The next question that we got for you is going to be from Orion Reacts. Big shout out to Orion one time. He's another content creator that I follow. Let's see here. Super interested in learning on how your eating schedule is. I've been good through the week. I've been working out a little bit, not a ton, but every day at my studio. But weekends, I have one takeout day and one drinking night. Think this is good. And will it still shred the weight that I want? So funny enough, I mean, I guess this kind of this kind of relates to the previous comment that we got, talking about the whole process of doing, the Body for Life by Bill Phillips. I mean, that whole plan was basically 6 days on when it comes to nutrition and training, and then 1 day off when it comes to, nutrition. So, I mean, I think that if you're putting your effort in, day in and day out, those 6 days a week here, that small day that you throw in an extra, random meal or, a couple of drinks, I don't think that's going to do it. Now, I don't know how much, I don't know how much you drink and how much you eat on that. If you're slamming food, from the top of the morning to the bottom of the evening, and then you're drinking along the way as well, hey, maybe that's making me do a little bit too much here. But if you incorporate a little bit here and there, just have some sense of control, I think you can still make some progress. So I've been able to make progress. I guess another great example that I could do is talk about the first video that you guys saw. You guys saw my pictures changing from 2019 into 2020. The 60 pounds of weight loss that I did was not 60 pounds loss with this, full-blown super strict plan that I did with no kind of, cheat meal or cheat day or whatever like that. Throughout that time, I was able to travel across the US, and eventually I actually got a chance to head on over to Paris as well for the Summit Store community, as they had a couple of cool events that were going on throughout that time. And, even though I, packed my meals and ate basically what I packed throughout the way, I did leave a night, here and there to have a couple of drinks with my fellow influencers and staff, as well as, have a nice meal, have a nice steak dinner, and not, think about like, oh my God, how much butter's on this? How many carbs is in these potatoes? Like I just let myself, go, and there was no regrets to it, because I knew that I put in all the work that I needed to in the beginning of the week, and throughout that day, in order to enjoy this meal with my friends and my family there. So yes, you can definitely do it. Obviously, it's just going to come down to the effort that you put in and how consistent you can keep it. But I fully believe, just from my own personal experience, that if you are continuously doing what you're doing, and I've already seen your vlog where you're sitting here, you literally got your gym at your work, which is absolutely amazing. I know that you're going to be able to do it. It's just simply a matter of time. So get excited for that. Next question that we got from Kamar Rock is, how much protein do I need to make them gains? I honestly believe that people can pretty much get away with 1 gram of protein per body weight, per pound of body weight. You can make an argument for a little bit more or a little bit less, but I think that overall that's a really good amount to start with. Now, for me personally, and a lot of the diets that I've structured, over my time, I generally shoot like for 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight, and I like to split that amount of protein up throughout the day. You can make an argument of just doing what you got to do to get your calories in, because ultimately that's what matters at the end of the day. But I personally like to have my protein split. I think that the protein alongside stuff that like fats and fiber, I think it provides a little bit of satiety that really helps me enjoy those meals and keeps me full throughout the day, so I don't go hungry and start just eating everything I see on site. So that's what I would do. Like for me personally, I haven't disclosed my personal numbers, but I'm currently taking in like about 215 grams of protein or 250 grams of protein right now, and I'm currently 220 pounds here. I have eaten a little bit more in the past. I've had eaten a little bit less, but right now that's where I'm currently sitting out here, and I basically have that split into about 5 meals throughout the day. 4 meals, like 4 whole food meals. And then I do like a snack in there with the Greek yogurt. You guys might have seen in the previous video. If you didn't, I'll try to leave a card or something up here so you guys can see the video, as people were curious about, want to kind of eat on a given day. So yeah. Now, next question that we got for you is going to be from Demetria VR. It says, is it better to add weights the first week of training, or maybe second and third week? And if so, and so of each workout, or not? So when you're first getting into, training and whatnot here, I think that weights in and of itself you don't need to stress on it too much here. You're definitely going to want to, use a little bit of weight when you train, but the goal is not for you to sit there and like max out the first week. Obviously, do incorporate a little bit of weight. I think a lot of the programs that I made in the past, generally we used basically a certain amount of weight that allowed us to do, 1 to 2 exercises for like anywhere from 12 to 15 or 15 to 20 reps without too much stress. I mean, the goal wasn't to sit there and do something that made you strain beyond belief. You just wanted to get a little blood in the muscle, just kind of get the body used to things, and then throughout the the next 2 to 4 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks, so on and so forth, you make a couple of changes, some adaptations to your plan, and essentially start to progressively overload your muscles very slowly. By the way, I say that that's a very important thing. I don't want you guys to overdo yourself. I want you to take your time, and if you're new to it, just get in there, do a little weight training, just mix it up with it. Don't kill yourself, okay? Don't kill yourself. Kevin Gonzalez, next question that we got from him, said, what is my final goal? My final goal, as I said before in the first video, is not just to look good, but to feel good. You probably saw this before picture, and we're just like, man, that's a you're sitting at a good spot here. I'm wondering why you want to go on a diet per se. It's not really go on a diet. My goal is to make a couple of changes to how I currently eat so that I can, again, not just look good, but feel good. I have a lot of, despite what you see externally, I have a lot of issues internally. I got some joint mobility issues. I got some inflammation issues, a lot of aches and pains that I got to take care of. And basically a lot of things that I have to address here. And I think that I can do that with, good training, proper nutrition, and just basically focusing on not just macronutrition, which is the protein, the carbs, and the fats, but also micronutrition, which is all the vitamins and minerals that a lot of people generally like to neglect along the way. And another thing that I want to point out here, and we'll talk about this in a later video, I want to get an expert on this one to bring this one, is gut health. Gut health is absolutely huge. If you haven't heard a lot right now when it comes to gut health and doing what you got to do to take care of your gut in and of itself, I mean, that is just like, it's just outrageously crazy how much progress you can make if your gut health is in check. So that is definitely something I'm going to be looking to do. I'm going to be looking to incorporate a lot of foods that are easier on the gut. I don't know if you guys are a big fan of FODMAP, if you've heard a lot about it, but choosing foods that don't irritate the gut all too much here, or that your body is able to assimilate. I mean, those are going to be some good foods to focus on throughout this process. That's what I'm going to be doing, and I'm excited to share that with you along the way. But again, if you have any questions, about it as far as like specific foods that, you know, are on this list and what you can do, let me know. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of FODMAP lists that you can check into, but I think I got a copy of one that I can send you guys this way through the Discord. Again, the link for the Discord is in the description down below if you guys want to jump on that. Once you get in there, there's going to be an option for you to react to a message, and basically that'll give you a chance to hop into the health and fitness channel so that you guys can get your questions answered there. And then the last but not least, we got the Rolling Sam, which says, do I like turtles? I don't know how that relates to health and fitness, but hey, you took the time to leave a comment here, whether you're trolling or not. I will say, yes, I like turtles. I never owned one beforehand. So yeah, hey, there's, yeah, you know, turtles are great, you know? And I will throw one more question. I think the question that come through here came actually through a stream that I watched here. I had a content creator by the name of SW Boo Boo asked me, like 3 weeks ago, he said, hey Childish, why, and I know this might sound kind of weird, but I want to answer the question that people give me. Why are my, like the nipple area, why is that super big? And funny enough, this is not the first time I kind of got that question. Well, I used to be super overweight, so you know, my skin you know, stretched out quite a bit here, and of course, you know, I lost a lot of weight, gained a lot of weight, lost a lot of weight, gained a lot of weight, so like the elasticity really never recovered. Now in 2010, the end of 2010, I ended up getting circumferential abdominoplasty, which essentially is basically you know, cutting out the skin, the excess skin around the chest and my abdomen area, and then they just kind of patched everything back. Well, they never resized the nipples per se, so they just basically are big up until I decide to, you know, buckle down and get a new surgery again. But you know, honestly, it really doesn't matter to me, especially you know, it's just kind of a reminder for me of, you know, where I've been and where I'm looking to go. It's kind of like battle wounds, so to speak, right? I mean, that's, in addition to that, the scars that you saw in that video, that's the same thing here. That's the scars that I gained from when I had all that skin removal done. So, but anyways, guys, that is going to be it for the video. My apologies once again. I feel like I keep on apologizing every single time I put this video, because I know that I need to be a little bit more consistent with my own videos, making sure that I'm dropping those you know, every single week on a consistent basis. So I'm gonna you guys leave a comment down below, okay? Say, Childish, stop lollygagging and get on, okay? I'll make sure to I'll make sure to do it, okay? That's gonna be it, guys. Once again, if you have any questions that I did not answer, leave it in the comment section down below. And again, if you want to show your support, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys all in the next one. Take care.